tell you about Legend Seeker and how you can support its development while getting some awesome perks. By subscribing to our Legendary tier on YouTube or becoming a paid member on our Discord or Patreon, you'll get early access to all Legend Seeker lore and mechanics. This means you'll be among the first to dive into the world of Legend Seeker and give direct feedback that will help shape the game. But that's not all. Supporters will also be the first to playtest the system and will get exclusive invites to private streams where we discuss the game in detail. Your input will play a huge role in making Legend Seeker the best that it can be. Now, for those of you who love watching our tabletop role-playing game shows, supporting Legend Seeker comes with some fun bonuses for the casts. Here's how it works. If you are a Copper or Common member on Discord or Patreon, you can give a $20 benefit to a player of your choice. Silver and Uncommon members can give 2 benefits to 2 players of your choice. If you go the YouTube route, you can give a $50 benefit to a player of your choice. And for the ultimate support, Gold and Mythic members on Discord and Patreon give a $20 benefit to 3 players of your choice. You can choose from all casts across Moonskull. Every bit of support goes directly towards making Legend Seeker a reality. It helps fund the art, writing, editing, and eventual publishing of the game. So, if you want to be a part of this journey and support our shows, join our Legendary tier on YouTube or become a member on Discord or Patreon. We couldn't do it without you, and we're excited to build Legend Seeker together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the game.
Hello, everybody. I'm Frost. I'm totally normal, not AI driven. Real person here. Real person here. I am Frost, and I am working on lore for Legend Seeker while I'm pouring some soda into a glass here. And I'm here to tell some quasi good jokes. Or, no, I'm here to work on lore. That's what I'm here for. Totally what I'm here for. While I enjoy a nice, whatever it is, Coke. I was like, what am I drinking? I was gonna say, it tastes like Coke because I thought I had a can of the raspberry Dr. Pepper. Oops. No wonder it tasted weird. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna work on some lore for this world here today and see if we can strike fear into the heart of the mod. The mod. Yes, it is. Oh, nice. Yay. The song is there forever now. Speaking of that, I got to change the music I'm listening to because I need something that's not soundtrack. Let's see. What are we going to put on here? What are we going to put on while we listen to this? Or while we work on this? Not going to be Tom Jones, that's for sure. I think we're going to put on this. All right, we're going to put this on. Pause. There we go. We got some good old music in the background. Let me make sure everything's running here. So we don't have Kick again because Kick is being just stupid and it wants the account to be reconnected again over and over and over. I don't know. Well, we're on X and we're over here on YouTube, so that's all that matters right now. That would be good. Apple cider slushy. All right, so the plan today is I'm going to fill out the entry on Grixfall because right now I have 1 paragraph. I'm going to go find the old document I had that had a whole bunch of information and open that one up and see where we get. Hello, Shadow Warden. Where was I in this document? I was at the polls, but I want to go back to Archipelago, which we never added to the map because it's a different place. All right, I don't think I went far enough down the document here to get to that. Has thrown Sapphire Sands. Okay, here we go. Okay, how to go after the meteors. There were a lot of questions in this document, which was pretty fun. Things are gnomes. Going to go into the mines, large skiffs, the glass crater, great towers of unknown function. Legends of a Great Library. Abandoned enclaves like a desert warlord's palace. Different colored sapphires. Okay, cool. I'm going to go back up here to the section that I had about the meteors. Now, do you think Grixfall, and if you don't remember what Grixfall is when Grix's moon comes in contact, its atmosphere comes in contact with Erudia's atmosphere, and it drags meteors or asteroids behind it, little space remnants and dust and stuff, comes across the sky, drags them with it, and some of them survive coming through the atmosphere, and they fly down in the path of the moon, which is always over Lost Acadia and the Azure Kingdom. Do you think we should do this every month? Should it be a bi-monthly thing? So it only happens like 6 times a year? It makes it more rare? Or do you think it should be every month and just sometimes it is less noticeable? Like there's smaller amounts of little asteroids that get pulled in and become meteorites that hit the ground. And sometimes it's abundant, and people, do a big business of saying, this next Grixfall is going to be big. And I'm kind of leaning towards making it every month and being it quite varied in what comes down. And the randomness controls how often it happens instead of having it be at 2 months, because then there'd be months when there's nothing. I was going to say it only happens on the odd months because it's Grix and he's odd. We'll see. It went from 60s to 90s in a day, and I don't know how to deal with it. It's not very pleasant here right now either. I have a nice picture of the cats I should probably put up on the Discord. That was them lounging in the driveway this morning because at 8 o'clock, I think is when I took the picture, they were just sitting there enjoying the shade and the sun at the same time. I'm gonna go grab that and throw it up into the pet part of Discord. It's only a couple of the cats, but they were enjoying themselves. Did it send? There we go. Wow, that took a while. It was really weird. I don't have Discord on my phone, so. All right, we'll copy this. I'm going to go throw this in the pet area. Where are we at here? Pets. Meows. Where are the pet place? I can spell hot and humid. There we go. So we got a Calvino, a Wolfie, and a Kibble. Benji was ranging in the woods, and Max didn't want anything to do with him because if he gets too close to Calvino, Calvino just slaps him around because Max is kind of a jerk, and Calvino doesn't like it. Anyway, Crescent, you have to suffer it with glee. Speaking of enclaves, do you think Sebi would side with them in Fallout? Sure, if there's fire. After the correct answer of yes, do you think she believes they're the good guys? Of course, she's on their side. Jeez, Jensen. Baby questions right there. Give me something hard to figure out. To do it monthly, but have an instance period really dangerous, like during a supermoon. Like have a month where Grix's moon is like super deadly. I like that. Yeah, Calvino, he goes out. He's pretty smart about it because I have the whole field that's just wildflowers and stuff because I haven't cut it. And the stuff is, this tall. He just wanders around in the morning. When he comes over to say hi to me if I'm on the front porch, he's just drenched with morning dew. And he's like, and Wolfie sort of does the same thing, but he just gets full of burrs because his fur is more like floofy foofy. Meanwhile, Kibble has thick fur, but she's like an otter or a mink. And you can rub your hand across her and the burrs just kind of fall off. Unlike Benji, who came over to me and was grumpy, and I'm like, why are you all grumpy? And he had a piece of a raspberry cane, an old dead raspberry cane, stuck in the fur under his belly. I had to kind of pull it out because he got it stuck in there. I was like, you dork. But, yeah. Isn't Monsters on the Moon getting transferred to the planet when the atmosphere connected plot point for Final Fantasy VIII? It's been in tons of stuff for a long time. It was used in Isaac Asimov's stories. Foundation, I think they used it. There was an idea of a moon touching a planet. It was used in Tales of the Jedi with Exar Kun, or not Exar Kun, but Nomi Sunrider and Ulick and Kay Keldroma when they went to the world of Onderon. The Beast Lords of Onderon, if you go look it up. They have a migration of monsters that come from the moon, and that's going to be part of what happens here, too. And if they used it in the Final Fantasy game, I'm not surprised. You getting so many raspberries right now? Woo! Wait, are your raspberries already ready? I mean, I only have blackberries. I don't have raspberries. I wish I had raspberry bushes. I have blackberries and gooseberries and mulberries. On crab apples, but all right. Okay, some survive. So each month, Grix's moon soars fully above the sands of the the T. The atmosphere emerging without ever dragging asteroids in its wake. Survive the survive the entry and crash into the, we'll say the... Especially some spectacular deadly impacts. Okay. Little ones, yeah, it's getting to the point where I have to shoo the birds away from them so I get some. Yep. I've got I put a picture on my Instagram the other day of just one of the bushes that's right next to my door. A close up of it. It's just the whole head of the thing is just full of raspberries, but they're green still because they won't mature until the end of the month, till next month. But that's just one out of thousands of bushes over here. I'm not kidding, there are thousands. Thousands. They're everywhere. All right. Each month, moon soars fully above the sands. Its atmosphere emerging with that of a radiated dragging asteroids in its shadowy wake. Some of the heavenly debris survives the entry. Oops. Entry and crashes. Crash. Survives entry to crash into the blue sand blowing spectacular deadly impacts. Metal in these. We'll see. We'll put stars in quotes because that's what people call them. They're fallen stars. Excuse me. Somehow I'm not getting the right. Setup here. There should. Why is it set to no spacing? Yeah, it's supposed to be set to no. Okay, somehow I got this formatting changed. All right, let's do this. There we go. That will fix it. All right, there we go. Each month, Grixis moon soars fully above the sands of the Edric Kingdom, its atmosphere merging with that of Arudia, dragging asteroids in a shadowy wake. Some of the heavenly debris survives the entry to crash into the blue sands below in spectacular deadly impacts. Meddling these fallen stars. What in the world did they put me? Oh, I don't want to listen to Spandau Ballet. No thanks. Okay, so once Grixis starts falling, I'm gonna make a fortune. We'll go to this. Fortune when Grixfall happens, races on the desert. Meddling these fallen stars is highly sought after and worth a small fortune. Grixfall happens, races on the desert. As Sandscape captains race and fight one another. To reach an impact size to harvest a fallen meteor, one of which could set a man up for life. Number and number and richness of what falls the sample is varies widely, we'll say. A great business. The predictive business proceeds each month's number and richness of what falls to the sands below each month varies wildly, and a great deal of predictive business precedes each month's occurrence. Soothsayers and well, they're what if they sought out? I don't think they'd sell this. Yeah, we'll say the Soothsayers and Oracles sought out by looking for a slight edge. On their competitors as to where they could Some meteors do impact. I don't want to say civilized, populated areas. Yeah. Some meteors do impact civil populators, causing devastation and chaos to this way. Okay. I wonder if I should have it be. Do you think we should have the higher, like, dangerous, the dangerous month be like, you know, year's end, year beginning? It feels like it would be more something like Grix would say, "Oh, you're trying to celebrate the end of the year, eh? That's some meteors, pocket meteors." That could be fun. We got quiet on the chat. Hey, Jensen Shadow Warden, did you see the joke that I put in earlier? Actually, I put 2 jokes in earlier, and they were funny. Chrysant laughed at one because it had no pun in it. The last month of the year is routinely the worst or best if you're a hunter. All right, last month. End of the year, foretelling the year to come. Yeah, there you go. Weasel, hail everybody! I finally found the channel. Woo! Welcome. Chrysant, laughing at a joke, X'd out. Hey, he typed it in. He typed in ha 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 ha. So if you go up and look for it, you'll find it. And welcome in, Weasel. It was about, well, it was right before the stream started, 4:58. And actually, wait, if you come to a stream after stuff's been said, you should be able to go back up and look at it, right? The live chat stays there, I think. Hopefully. Anyway, Last month you strategic the worst or best if your hunter for Grix follows the God's Moon as its last. You know, fight him during the God Killer War. Um. That lights up with falling debris for most nights of this long month. And the oops. Just there we go. Patterns of their trails are used by there's I can use the S. Every time I say soothsayers, I think of Mel Brooks. Soothsayer. Have you said sooth? Well, yes. The guy on the unemployment line. Falling debris for most nights of this long month. The shape and pattern of the trail is used by soothsayers to there we go. They come in the next year. Let's see. We're gonna go up to this song. All right. It was right after Frostmon. I talked about renegotiating contracts with the Rudai. What's a contract? Invert or else. No one tells me to make memes. I just send them to somebody and they appear on stream. You would never meme anyone. Nope. Rudai, the meanest guy ever. Okay, if one is fortunate enough to witness be in the let's see, fortunate to witness Griffon be in the vicinity of a meteor landing they expect to be set up by skip captains, hunters, and all manner of all manner of claim the prize. Then when skip captains, hunters, and all manner of shiny figures come to claim the prize. Most Grix small meteors are smaller than man's fist. So I'm gonna look something up here. Tattoos. That was a different fantastic. Yeah, different fantastic. Uh-huh. How can someone threaten but still be non-threatening at the same time? Well, that's a good question, Weasel. Uh, it's that quiet kind of crazy threatening. Like, is he gonna show up and just stare at you through the window at Waffle House? Maybe. You gonna do anything else? Maybe not. You don't know. He's just gonna stand in the rain and stare at you. Rudai threatens everyone. He threatened me, and I've never done anything to him. He's so mean. It was not quite as fantastic sarcastic. It was okay sarcastic. You're only trying to expand his knowledge of German cured meats. That's how you meme accounts. All right, let's see. All right. How big would the crater be if a meteor impact was the size of a grain of sand in a basketball car? Let's see. Computing crater size. Oh man, the lunar and planetary laboratory of this site is gone. All right. Okay. So by the atmosphere, something falls dust. Those are fine. Those are tiny little babies. Baby meteors. Okay, so there is a program. There's supposedly a program at Purdue here. Projectile parameters. Diameter in oh density. 45 direct elementary sedimentary rock. Crystalline rock. Okay, target type is sedimentary rock. We'll do crystalline rock. Energy crater. No craters formed. Global changes. All right, let's say 5. Distance. Boy, that's a good question. We'll say the sedimentary rock. All right, velocity 72. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't seem to want to give me. Huh. Yeah, their program doesn't work. Oh. There's this thing about the Tunguska fireball. Well, that doesn't work. That sucks. Speed is a huge factor. That's fine. That's fine. Nickel iron weigh about 50 meters across. Okay, that one's way too big. Minimum crater size. Interesting. People are asking just ridiculous questions. What if it had the weight of a black hole? Okay. Inspecting. Oh, that's lunar stuff. That's not going to help. I'm trying to find something with a nice simple mass to speed ratio here. I don't want the largest. And that's the physics of it. Okay. Astronomy. Yes, verifying I'm human. I am human. All right, that one is too big. 1.3 million craters larger than a kilometer. I don't care. I want small craters. All right, that's a small one. Okay. Direction and impact. Okay. So we're gonna go with some small things here. They're saying okay, one by Johnson, the go impact greater scrolling laws. Okay. Diver the impactor, don't really care. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Oh, I don't want to sign up to your site. No. I'm not gonna sign up for your site for your silly math program. Crazy people. What kind of nutty people are they? Think I'm gonna sign up for science site. Pfft. Anyway. Oh no, not math. It'd be mean too if I lived at an altitude close to everyone else's smelly bits. Wah wah. Nice. Nice, Weasel, nice. So currently what I'm working on here is the evil god that was relegated to a prison in, the god's realm after this horrible war he started. His moon still goes across this area when it goes, around at every month it'll pass overhead, and it drags meteors along with it and or asteroids with it, and if they survive entry into the atmosphere, they plummet down into this Azure Kingdom because they refused to side with him during the war. And while he couldn't send his armies into their kingdom because they were too protected, he could rain meteors and asteroids down on them to cause them no end of suffering. And it persists to this day. Every month when the moon comes down and the atmospheres touch, it just rains asteroids across. Most of the time they just fizzle and they're nothing. But when they impact, if somebody finds them, it's worth a lot of money because it's meteoritic iron and other cool crystals and things that are worth a lot. So it's a big event every month. But I'm figuring out how big the craters would be because it matters, how steeply they come in, how fast they're going. They're falling into sodalite sand, so yeah, these are like 50 meters in diameter, making these massive craters. So we're gonna go with smaller craters. All right. And this is called the Azure Kingdom because their desert is primarily made up of sodalite, crystallized sodalite. So it's vast sand deserts of blue sands that they sail their skiffs across. When a larger meteor hits, craters can be massive and cause widespread damage. If they are near populated area. So we have this one here. The Veil of Glass was a massive meteor hit, and it punched through the crust because they were trying to, they were really trying to cause problems. And that meteor created that valley of glass because it literally glassed the sodalite desert there. And there's still a rip, and the magic that was causing it, there's a rift into the elemental plane of fire there too. So not only is it a horrifying, cool reminder of the power of a god doing things, it's spewing forth fire elementals and fire salamanders and all kinds of horrible things all the time. And that contributed why the Azure Kingdom is Azure. Sand is also part space rocks. Yeah, yeah. Part space rocks. All right, I'm gonna leave that one note for later. I did have another note in my other document here I need to look at quickly. I'm gonna put a note in here. Enterprising wizard in the past. Oops. Raised number of enchanted obelisks in the desert. We're set to attract these. I'll say partially, not both. Let's see. Partially in the hopes. But also perhaps as a way to all right, they worked quite well until they pulled in the larger meteors and were obliterated one by one. They worked quite well until they pulled in larger meteors. They were obliterated by one by one. The wizard himself supposedly fell. And his let's say the slagged pockmarked and slagged. Whoops. All right, they worked quite well until they pulled in larger meteors and were obliterated one by one. The wizard himself supposedly fell in one of these strikes and his methodology was lost. Pockmarked and slagged remnants of his obelisk can be found here and there in the desert. So this wizard was basically making enchanted obelisks in the desert that were set to attract the meteors, partially so he could corner the market on the metal, but also possibly as a way to protect important locations, if they're attributing kind of a nice reasoning for his choices. They worked quite well until they pulled in one of the larger meteors and were obliterated one by one. Okay, so yay, you put something out there that's going to pull in meteors. Get ready, because you have meteors coming at you. Space. Yeah, this is a weird space thing. Oh, factors to be real accurate would be called mass velocity, trajectory, gravitational effect, nearby solution. Yep, exactly. So I was looking at where is this? I was looking at one of them at the Purdue laboratory, and there was one in an Arizona University site, but theirs is down. It has a whole kinetic thing you can choose, you know, how big the item is, the trajectory it comes in, the speed it's moving, what kind of substrate it's hitting. It's pretty cool. I'm going to be fudging a little bit of it because we're not going to write a whole science treaty, but it's fun. And as it is, two celestial bodies, even briefly sharing an atmosphere would probably rip them asunder and or cause the one to crash in the other. But there's a lot of gods and magic and stuff in here that stop certain things from happening the way we would expect them to in a lot of cases. But also, it's just fun to think that this meteor or this moon orbits, but occasionally the atmospheres, blend, and then these creatures can go back and forth. But also, it drags all kinds of celestial bodies in its wake and just throws them like, flaming darts down on this desert because the god is very mean. Let's see. I don't remember this song. We're going to go past that song. We're going to go listen to Huey Lewis. Calculations online from Imperial College London. Yep, Purdue. Yep, that's the one I was looking at. Yep. I mean, they if you mean the Imperial or metric, the Purdue one had both. There's going to be a science lecture. What kind of channel is this? Well, actually, if you look at picture 7 here. No, we're not gonna do that whole thing. We'll get Chrysanth up here to talk to us about, I don't know, the ingredients in your toothpaste. Something like that. What happens in a person's brain when they're told a pun? That would be a good lecture. You just draw a picture of like squiggles, a black cloud, and then a face with 2 straight bars for the eyes and a straight bar for the mouth. That's what happens when you hear a pun. All right. I'm going to look at this. Each month, Grick's moon soars fully. Soars full and close above the sands of the Azure Kingdom, its atmosphere merging with that of Iridia, dragging asteroids in its shadowy wake. Some of the heavenly debris survives the entry to crash into the blue sands below. And spectacular and deadly impacts. Metal in these fallen stars is highly sought after. I got a mosquito bite? Spider bite, something. Oh, that's probably... Oh, hey, the wasp did get me earlier. I didn't think he got me. When I was outside, it felt like he did. At first, it hurt, but then it didn't really bother me. I've just got a little knot there. Anyway, so meddling's fall star is highly sought after and worth a small fortune. When Grixball happens, the race is on in the desert as sand skiff captains race and fight one another to reach the impact sites to harvest the fallen meteor, one of which could set up a man for life. Or set a man up for life. Number and richness of what falls to the sands below each month varies wildly, and a great deal of predictive business precedes each month's occurrence. Soothsayers and oracles are sought out by hunters looking for a slight edge on their competitors as to where they should set out. Some meteors do impact populated areas, causing devastation and chaos to this day. The last month of the year is routinely the worst, or best if you're a hunter, for Grixball, as the God's Moon has its last revenge on the kingdom that defied him during the God Killer War. Sky lights up with falling debris for most nights of this long month. The shape and pattern of the trails are used by soothsayers to speak to the fortunes to come in the next year. If one is fortunate enough to witness Grixball and be in the vicinity of a meteor landing, they can expect to be set upon by skiff captains, hunters, and all manner of shady figures hoping to claim the prize. Most Grixball meteors are smaller than a man's fist after impact, leaving craters no more than a skiff's width or less in the blue sands of the desert. And thus are 2. And thus are difficult to locate if not directly witnessed. When a larger meteor hits, the craters can be massive and cause widespread damage, especially if they are near any populated areas. An enterprising wizard in the past raised a number of enchanted obelisks in the desert that were set to attract these meteors, partially in the hope of countering the market of the metal, but also perhaps as a way to protect important locations. They worked quite well until they pulled in the larger meteors and were obliterated one by one. The wizard himself supposedly fell in one of these strikes and his methodology was lost. pockmarked and slagged remnants of his obelisk can be found here and there in the desert. Okay. Sweetener in toothpaste is sorbitol. It's an alcohol-based syrup, and it's a laxative. There's your science. Does this laxative only work when swallowed? You ever read the reviews of sugar-free gummy bears? They're sweetened with sorbitol. Yeah, isn't sorbitol used in... Isn't that used in one of those gums? Like the little chiclet kind of gums? I know do artificial sweeteners literally make me sick. Artificially sweet makes me sick. Is croissant sorbitol? Wow, that sounds like a headline you'd have on a paper. Yeah, it's used in a lot of things. Okay. Yeah, I had one of the guys at work had it was like little containers like about this big, but had a plastic cap with a flip top that had gum in it, and he'd click, click, clack, 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 getting the gum out of him. But it was maybe it was xylitol, but he just had containers of it on his desk. It was like he was addicted to chewing the gum, and he had like 50 of those things. He'd just keep them on his desk after he finished them, and I was like, I don't get it. I mean, we also had a guy who used to build Mountain Dew pyramids at his desk, so. I should eat sugar-free gummy bears after eating a cheese-heavy meal then. The other kind of things that make you sick? A woman! Oh, wow. You know what? You tell me how that works out for you. What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? I think there's going to be a nuclear reaction. I love women. They just don't like me. You've met me. You get it. Wait, are you that guy who walks up and punches people in the arm just to do it? I mean, girls don't like that. That's not how you do it. You got to walk up to them with a rose in your teeth. I think that's the less creepy way to do it, right? Isn't that right? That's right. Right? No? Okay, maybe that's not right. Crap, that doesn't work either. I don't know. Don't ask me how to approach women, because what happened to me is every woman that I've ever dated basically came to me and started talking to me, and then suddenly we were dating, and I don't remember how it started. It just happened. So. All right, well, this is a pretty good start on this. I want to add some more bits and pieces here to this, though. I wonder if we can differentiate other things. Well, like, what other kind of things do you find when meteors hit? Is it usually just slagged metal and rock left over? It's a trap. Use the line, "You're pretty, but you seem emotionally unavailable." Wow. Wow. One of the this guy wasn't really my friend. He was an acquaintance. He was my friend's older brother's friend, but he would hang out with us. And when we started going to college, he would come to the bars with us a lot. He would go up to women. Didn't matter if they had a guy with them. He would just ask anyone out. Any girl he liked at all at any point, because he figured at some point he's going to get somebody who'll say yes. He would walk up to them in the bar and say, "Hey, how you doing? What do you do for fun?" And he would use the line, "I'm a long distance runner. That means I have stamina." 99% of the time, the women are just like, okay. But occasionally, the numbers game. People. Again, I've told you guys how clueless I am with women. I don't get it. Chrysanth knows the story about the goth girl punching me in the chest. Fun times. All right, meteor showers. Nope, don't care about meteorites. I should probably go through and make sure that I actually use meteorite. Oh, wait, what did how did I do that? Oh, I clicked on the wrong line. I'm like, how did I type in that line? Okay, it's near population. I person that hope it come in the market. All right, let me go back to the here. Okay, I don't use the word meteor there at all. Ah, I missed one there. Okay, there we go. Freeze one up from the impact site. Look up Tunguska of it. Yeah, you know what's funny is on that Purdue site, you could, or I think it was a Purdue site, you could actually click the button to show, and one of the buttons is a Tunguska fireball. You can look at it and see what the size of the effect would be and what happened and all that. It's pretty cool. I just tell them I'm a homeowner in this economy. It makes me not dinosaur. Oh, there you go. Hey, babe, I told you I've got home equity. If it's summoning meteors you want, I may know a guy. Okay, Gino. Don't summon meteors for me, please. Why do we care about meteorites? Where do meteorites come from? What kind of meteorites have been found? All right. Okay, that one doesn't help. All right, here we go. Three major types known as iron, and stony. Iron meteors are comprised of 100% iron and nickel. Stony iron meteors are made up of 50% iron and 50% silicates. Stony meteors are comprised of 10 to 15% iron and nickel with 85 to 90% silicates. Okay. Okay, according to the universe. Well, that doesn't help me much. It kind of gives me info, but I just want to know a little bit more about. Okay, dust. Okay, micrometeors. No, don't care about those. The Hobo meteorite is 119,000 pounds. That's pretty large. Thermal ablation, blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right, 60,000 meteorites have been found on Earth. Stony iron. Okay. Ah, this goes into more detail. Okay, extra nickel and iron, chondrites and achondrites. Okay. Chondrites themselves are classified in two major groups, ordinary and carbonaceous. Okay, droplets of lava. Okay. Okay. Quantity of iron. Carbonaceous chondrites contain the element carbon. Amino acids, okay. Groups. Meteorite. Clay as well. Okay, interesting. Olivine, type of silicate mineral. What is olivine? Ah, that's what I thought. A green crystal. Okay, so okay, that olivine is what you make peridot, however you pronounce it, out of. Oh, okay, that's cool. All right. All right, most meteorites are comprised of iron, nickel, and various silicates. Some contain small, rough gem-like stones, or iron, nickel, and various silicates. Some rare finds contain smaller stones or crystals. The we'll say Azure Kingdom. Okay, one such crystal. So most meteorites are comprised of iron, nickel, and various silicates. And some rare finds contain rough gem-like stones or crystals. One such crystal adorns the ancestral crown of the king of the Azure Kingdom. Iron meteorites are the most massive meteorites ever discovered. Heavy mineral composition often allows them to survive the harsh plummet through Earth's atmosphere without breaking into smaller pieces. Okay, a group of stony pallasites contain yellow-green olivine crystals encased in shiny metal. The relics of an asteroid's core mantle boundary. The chemical composition is similar to many iron meteorites, leading astronomers to think maybe they came from different parts of the same asteroid that broke up when it crashed into Earth's atmosphere. Okay. Okay, lots of those. Some submerged, ablation blackening. Meteorite or meteor wrong? How can you tell if that rock you found fell from the sky? First of all, meteorites get burned when they enter the atmosphere, so they're usually black and crusty. Also, meteorites, even stony meteorites, contain iron, so a magnet will stick to them. Okay. Most fall harmlessly to Earth. Sometimes, however, they cause great damage. Less catastrophic impact hit a driveway in the U.S. town of Peekskill, New York in 1992. Although no one was harmed, meteorite slammed through the trunk of a parked Chevrolet Malibu, barely missing the gas tank, before creating a small impact crater beneath the car. The Chevy is nicknamed Peekskill Meteorite Car. Wow, that's a catchy nickname, New Yorkers. You got this. Come up with some more. Fast fact. Rocky Cookie. The best place to hunt for meteorites is in Antarctica because most of Antarctica is covered in ice and snow. Rocky meteorites stand out like chocolate chips in a cookie. Okay, that's fun. Anyway, hey KG Corey, how's it going? I need a living sacrifice on the guy's DNA. Hi, Chrysanth. Supposed to get up to 101 on Monday, Tuesday, or the horror host. I thought it was Tuesday notes for a second there. Let me use my eye. Horror host. Blah. That's no 101. No. We don't need that. Nobody needs this. I am going to quickly get another drink because I am really thirsty here. I'm gonna go get a juice or something. I'll be right back. Enjoy the chair. The chair is here for you. The chair wants to know what you're thinking. Honk. All right, back. I didn't even trip myself and fall over. Yet. Yet. Hopefully you told the chair all your woes. All hail the chair! Not a meteor, but did you ever see the car that got crushed by a piece of whale in Oregon after the highway patrol blew it up? No. Whee! Video of them blowing up the whale on YouTube, and they show the car afterwards. It's completely caved in. Wow. Okay, then. Well, I hear that whales are heavy. This lends some credence to that. Where did I put... I'm going to wipe this cup out. Because when I put soda in it, that I just had Coke in this glass, and I'm being a horrible person and just wiping out the bottom of it because I'm going to put a different flavor of soda in it. How horrible am I? Chair was plotting a coup. I don't blame it, really. It has to take everything all the time. One of these days I'm going to come back from walking out there. Because normally when I start writing, I'll just throw on like sweatpants. I'll come back. I'll go throw on like my plate carrier or something and come back and just sit down and do the rest of the stream that way. Just for no apparent reason. Let's see. We got to find some more music because that one didn't have a lot of music on it. Had a lot of songs, not a lot of music. There we go. Playing a coup with the cats. No. What was I gonna click on here? Oh, I was gonna go check. Luffy cats. Started pouring. Oh man. Well, hopefully you had everything important under cover and inside. Speaking of cats, the kittens are getting brave and starting to sneak outside without us knowing. Oh. Well, once they get old enough, you just have to get them fixed as soon as you can then. There we go. Embedded in the metal. One Swiss blue-green crystal adorns the ancestral crown of the king of the Azure Kingdom. They try to get out when I leave for work in the morning, and I keep them in. That's good. Time to give them away. Yep. Yeah, the skinny girl cat that I've been feeding, who was out here with her little kittens. I haven't seen the kittens around in a month, so I'm not sure that they made it. I mean, I wasn't sure she was going to make it because I can't get a hold of her to get her to the vet or anything. But she started eating now, and she's hanging around more, much to the chagrin of the other cats because she's being so nice to them. She wants to nuzzle them and say hi to them, and they're like, "We don't know you. Get away." So they haven't been hanging around on the back porch much because that's her haunt at the moment. All right, Grix Fall. Each month, Grix Moon stars full and clear above the... Anything else I have to say about Grix Fall? I mean, we've got the craters, we've got the stuff talking about them. Do I need to talk more about the groups? Trying to think if I need to or not. I'm going to do this. I'm going to add one more little thing at the very bottom here. Recent Grixfall meteorite. Oops, I should put that back in. Grixfall meteorite impacted the sand above a hidden tomb. Crashing through the roof. It was subsequently looted, but is now cordoned off and guarded by... An army troop. The entire area is being investigated by scholars and all right. Recent Grixfall meteor impacted the sand above a hidden tomb, crashing through the roof, revealing it to hunters. It was subsequently looted, but is now cordoned off and guarded by an army or army troops. I'll say an army troop. I feel like I got a piece of cat fur or something in my throat here. The entire area is being investigated by scholars and clerics as there is evidence of undead and necromancy in the unusual ruins. There we go. Gets around over 2 months, maybe. Not really sure. Old enough they can eat hard food. Okay, yep. Give them away, but I'm keeping one. Probably the runt. She's nice and actually runs up to me. Oh, that's nice. Let me check something here. Where is this stupid thing? Yeah, sorry, I'm looking for a note here. Reading. I'm going through a lot of notes here. There we go. Just responding there. Had to find something. All right. Boom. Good. All right, I don't need to have the olivine stuff up anymore. So I'm throwing another twist in this little thing. And yeah, evidence of undead and necromancy in the unusual ruins, which feature never before seen cataglyph themed artwork and iconography. And if you don't know what cataglyphs are, we're going to talk about them in a second. Cataglyphs are the bipedal ant-like people that inhabit the Azure deserts. Cataglyphs can withstand extreme temperatures and prolonged dry spells. Their lifespans are short, lasting only a few years, and it is not unusual for a colony to die out within a decade, the younger members moving on to different areas and founding a new home. They dig deeply into the more solid sodalite deposits of the desert, burrowing into the sand and rock to create their intricate and delicate hives. Being small creatures and adept at spreading out their body weight, the nature of their hives can't support the pressure of most other humanoid forms. Thus, explorers of abandoned hives often cave them in while searching for treasures. I'll say unintentionally. Cave them in while searching for treasures. Cataglyphs of old once built great packed mounds of sand and rock into spires of ethereal and unearthly shapes. Spaces, hollows, and gaps built into them transform passing desert wind into haunting melodies. Most cataglyphs speak the common tongue as well as their own. They learn quickly, mastering skills and language at an astounding rate. So, there's bipedal bug people, which some of you love bugs, right? All right, what are we doing on time here? 6:20. Okay, we got some time. I feel like I could add one more thing about Grix Fall here, but I may wait on it though because nothing's jumping out at me right away. Ew, bugs. Ah, they're just ant people. It's fine. It's fine. Hmm. Let's see. I'm on to talking about the Black Barge. If I can spell. Look. Trying to think of a good word for that. What would be a good word? Not. Let's go to my thesaurus. No, this word. We'll go with this. Goes over. I'm making this woman moody and effervescent. She's a crazy pirate lady. A sand barge pirate lady. Rules the skiff, the black barge. Want to add something that affects the environment or just something extra? I was kind of trying to decide if it was something that would affect it because we already have the tides. There are crazy tides that come through when the moon comes through. But I was trying to think if there's something else for Grixball specifically. Because when the moon comes by, normally it causes those tides, and there's the talc sand and other things we have out here that you can get stuck in. Yeah. Grix moon would create a kind of aurora borealis as it gets closer. Well, it should be doing something because the atmospheres are smashing together. That would make sense. Would be interesting with the Jabberwock. Yeah, yeah. I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind. I might put that in just talking about the moon. Well, it actually technically works for part of this. Um, Yeah, I'm just gonna say each month Grix Moon full soars full and close above the sands of the Azure Kingdom. Its atmosphere emerging with that of Iridia, dragging meteors in its shadowy wake and causing magnificent auroras to dance across the skies and magnetic fields interact. Yeah, that works. Yeah, surprise sinkholes would be crazy. Especially that's why I was like, if we do something that's kind of like a little mini adventure, we put a little thing out. It's just called, Grixfall or a sand race or something like that, and it's basically you're with a group of people who are racing to get to a Grixfall meteor site. They see it, and then it's just the race is on, and you have to fight like a couple of skiffs. They're smashing into each other. You get to fight across skiffs, pirate boarding style, until you get there. And there's a third group that's already there trying to get to the thing, digging it out while they're dealing with probably some predators in the sand that come after them. So it would be a fun little just mini adventure. And, see, if they get everything out and they get all the loot. If they succeed, they'll get the meteorite, which would be fun. But they have all those dangers they got to deal with. The little sand pools, and they knock somebody else's skiff into one of those little out sand areas. Could be fun. Who doesn't want to be a desert pirate sailing the blue sands in her skiff, fighting people who look like they're from a crazy medieval, or not medieval, but a fantasy version of an Egyptian kingdom with huge pyramids in the background, while there's auroras going off, because the Grixball doesn't always happen in the daytime. Sometimes it's at night. So the black moon and the aurora going over your head. Drow. Uh, Ruled over by a moody and effervescent human woman named Sayal, which means traveler. The black barge is guarded by the best mercenaries that money can buy. And just say that. Sales hunters themselves set out to attempt to come. So basically, I'm saying if the black barge happens to witness nearby Grixfall, sales hunters themselves set out to attempt to claim the prize. As long as you can afford to keep them, exactly. That's why they charge a lot. And they charge a lot they charge a lot for everything you can buy in the black barge, because it's where you find all the things you probably shouldn't be able to buy other places. And they're also basically pirates, so when they deal with people at the cat market as well. We'll say frequented by notorious tomb raiders and pirates of Black Barge is what would you call it? Place to go for illicit information within the kingdom. A place play to gain illicit information with the kingdom. You can. Best way to gain illicit information with the kingdom if you can manage to convince the holder to part with it. With Blackbird, somewhat lawless place with no rules. There are at the cat market. Yeah, we'll go with that. Black Barge is a somewhat lawless place with no formal rules in place as there are at the cat market. Instead, most visitors tend to want to stay out of Sal's eyesight as they go about their business. Uses examples or those who displease her often uses examples or enslaved to man the barge's great sails. Yeah, fun. Get some live sacrifices, some DNA, revive the dead, place some spell traps or skull to have more control over and boon an army that's pretty much unbeatable. Cool. Wait a second. Where did this all come from, Gino? What are you doing in your basement? Just asking for a friend? I'm going to say one last thing there is Saal is rumored to employ a necromancer who has turned more than one of her enemies into an unwilling undead servant. So she's this moody, effervescent woman, but everyone's like, don't make her mad. You may disappear. You may end up working in the barge. You maybe end up hanging from the bottom of the barge as a decoration. You may get turned into a zombie. Anime stuff. Got it. Got it. Anime stuff. Ew. Anime. See, this is like Chris Ant saying, ew, bugs. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Hey, Chrysanth, I found a new joke that's not a pun. Here we go. New joke that is not a pun. Yep, I'm on a whiskey diet. I've lost 3 days already. Before the end of the stream, I'll put the last joke that I found out there. I didn't come up with any of these. These are just jokes I found online. All right, so the Veil of Glass is the next thing. That gives us some information there. So the Veil of Glass we talked about, massive impact site from the early God Killer War. Grixis forces crashed a meteorite here and it punctured the crust, glassing the sands of the area into a blue-black obsidian-like formation. Nothing grows, lives, or visits this site, but elementals occasionally find their way to the material plane through the eternal blast furnace that roils at its center. I want to put a massive whale skeleton somewhere out in the desert. Just for fun. But I was thinking of a large creature. Something I could put out here that would be something that wanders the desert. But I haven't come up with anything yet that's not just kind of boring. So I'm still thinking about that. I mean, they're dragons. So that's something. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Oh, the joke. The joke was good. Yeah, it was a pretty good joke. If that's what you're talking about. What am I doing here? I was going to this. Okay, where did this picture go that I generated? Oh, maybe I deleted it. Maybe I did. Okay, I might have deleted it. All right, well, that's fine. That's okay. Now, Crescent, for those, I took those pictures of that cask that I had that I got from that zombie special edition. I had it sitting back there, and I didn't put it back into its big box. And I was like, I heard this noise, and I was like, what is that noise? I heard this weird scratching. I look back there, and Albino is standing on top of it, just standing, kind of like trying to teeter on it because it's got a swooped up top. He's like standing on it with his claws on all four paws, like looking at it, like, oh, this is interesting, but why? Why everything new had to be stood on or touched or smashed into? So I had to get him away from it. Like he's gonna just make a mess of it all of a sudden. So I decided to actually put it away, and then I looked through more of the stuff, and I think maybe if I ever manage to go to a meetup, I might bring some of those little items with and see if anybody wants them, like the zombie puzzle and stuff like that. Because it's all cool stuff, and it's stuff. I should probably keep it somewhere in a big display case, but yep, there's the box and he's cat. Exactly. So I was watching TV last night, and he was all like happy and snuggled in. He's sleeping on my beard, just like he'd been there for like 45 minutes. And I'm watching Person of Interest, and there's a spot in there where the guy he squeaks a ball for their dog Bear, and he goes, "Ee, ee." Calvino out of complete deep, just he's like just up looking around with his paws on my chest, like, who's trying to kill us? What's going on? I can kill them all. I'm taking them all out. He's just like, oh, dude, calm down. And he just looked at me and went right over to the back door. And he's like, I'm going over here. I'm looking outside. I'm like, fine, go outside. One little tiny squeak. I'm glad he didn't have his claws in my neck. Otherwise, I would have been sporting some vampire wounds. It would have been great. Auction them off. There you go. $7 billion. Maybe. All right. So, do I want to put anything else on the black barge here? Before I go on to the Veil of Glass. Massive platform festooned with black sails and sunset sights. Let's put this down here. The great favors perform for sale for a great money. One can. All right, so if a great favor is performed for sale or a great deal of money is paid, one might be gifted a magical compass that points to the black barge's current location. These are highly coveted, and they're supremely wary of one falling into the hands of the king's men. Because, it basically is the thing that points pretty much where they're at. So, it's something that nobody's probably ever going to get hold of unless it's part of an adventure arc. That's super dangerous. Super dangerous. Where is my... All right, I'm going to put this here. All right, Chris, I'm going to put the last joke in here. This is, I don't know if this is a joke for you specifically, but I mean, it could be you. It could be maybe Sevi. It could be Fantastic Sarcastic. It could be Gino. It could be a lot of people. Could even, could even be Jensen. I don't know. There. Therapists have a preoccupation with vengeance. See about that. All right. understand what that is. Okay. Ah, okay, there we go. That is a pretty good one. It's understated. It's quick. It's to the point. All right. Oh my gosh, I found something. Chrysanth, I'm going to send this to you. This just popped up. I'm not going to put it in the chat here because, yeah. But it's funny because the person who responded to this is evidently, what's her name? J.K. Rowling. But just click on that. Thanks, Australia. Mind Goblin in Enya. I agree with her. What the heck is that? I know. I've never seen that before. I'm like, okay. For full reference, it is a thing in Australia. It's called a wraparound spider. Indigenous to Australia, can flatten and wrap its body around tree limbs for camouflage. It looks like kind of a bump in the bark. It's just like wrapped around the whole thing. And J.K. Rowling's response to it was, no, 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 and like 50 no's. All right, I gotta got that thing. Okay. I also came across something else while I was looking up a completely different thing. I don't want to live on this planet anymore. All right, I'm not putting it anywhere. I'm literally typing a message. Oh, I almost typed in the wrong chat there. I just saw Cajun Corey's picture. Now they're taking over my chair. Yep. Take over everything. All right. Anyway, let's see. We're going back to the Black Barge. I think I've gotten everything I want to put on the Black Barge. I think we'll go there. All right. And let's see. If I were to I don't think I could. The Veil of Glass, I could add more stuff to it. I'm trying to keep that one not really a big deal right now. Like it's got the entrance to the elemental place, and that's it. 1,000 times no. Oh, hey, there you go. You put it in the chat. I do have a little jumping spider that made a home in my mailbox. He's pretty neat. Hops on my hand sometimes when I grab the mail. I just put it back. Oh, nice. Your mail person does not appreciate your mailbox resident. Hello, Bap from Cajun Corey. Yeah, we're having a fun time with spiders. Woo! Look at us. I mean, we're not having that much fun with spiders because, you know, people don't love it. All right. People just send me the weirdest stuff. Somebody sent me a thing that there was a thing called streamer prom. Like, really? What? Wow. Almost as bad as actors doing like Oscar stuff. Like, let us congratulate ourselves for doing things. Dorks. But hey, more power to them. Enjoy. All right. Hey. I assumed after dealing with dogs, a little jumping spider is nothing to the mailman. Baseball team won last night. Get to play for a championship, and I'm hyped. Nice. Boo. If I were to make something out about the veil, if I put, I think it's if I put any like things there actually. I can't put a place here because the veil of glass isn't supposed to really have anything, and nothing's going to survive. Nobody's going to be able to keep a place there because, you know, stuff coming in and out of the plane of fire. So I'm going to think about that. All right, I'm going to read through the cataglyph stuff here. And that might be the end of what I'm doing today. Yeah. All right. I'm going to go back to the cataglyph things here. All right. Did I need to, let me go my other document, make sure that I didn't add any more entries because I thought I put one more thing in here, but I might have. That was packed sites. Where are the cataglyphs? Gem mines, halflings, glass crater. There are towers. I haven't really talked about those in here. I got those in here. I got the wind chime like structures. Okay, well, I guess I did cover them all. This is good. Okay. All right, we'll go with I covered all the major points that we need to cover for those. That's good. Woohoo! Fish Tank had a wizard duel live, sort of. What is a fish tank? Is that like Shark Tank? Or is it people watching people? Unless they have arachnophobia. That's a good point. Well, congrats to your team. Hope they win. What is your Cajun Corey? What is your team's name? Are they like the what are those things? The mantis shrimp? Are those the loud shrimp? Are those I'm trying to think of a Cajun type thing. I'm not well versed on Cajun creatures. I was trying to think of a good pun, but I couldn't think of one. Because I'm not very good at puns. Right. What did I just get here? Notification. Oh, look, a cat. Hanging out by the back camera. All right. That's all it was, just a cat. The Tigers. That's not very Cajun-y. People watching people. It's look like low rent Big Brother with Sam Hyde. I also don't know who Sam Hyde is, so I'm really good at this. And I didn't know that they had wizards out there. Man! Tonight on Pun Stars. Nice. Yeah. Oh, man. I've only got a couple minutes left. All right. Well, I'm not going to get any farther on the gem mines or anything here. That's okay. That's okay. Oh, SpaceX had a little bit of a problem with their ship last night, it looks like. It was Space Starship 36. Uh-oh. People are dorks. Did I mention that people are dorks? I don't know. All right, here we go. All right. Okay. Louisiana State University. That's cool. They have actual tiger as a mascot. Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Do they feed the tiger Cajun food? Not Cajuns. Cajun food. Well, they might serve it Cajuns. Hopefully they don't. All right. So, well, we got a whole bunch of stuff clarified about Grix Fall and the Black Barge and everything today, which is great. So, probably going to be doing more stuff in the Azure Kingdom on Tuesday. I think I may hop over to Lost Acadia. We'll see. We'll see what I'm going to do. Depends on what I work on this weekend. But I'm Frost. This has been Frost Written, and you can find me again here Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 to 7, doing the same thing where I'm working on the lore for the Legend Seeker RPG that Rudai is working on. And probably going to be doing, I'm going to do a little bit more map making at some point because there's a couple other islands and things I want to work on. We'll see how much of that actually is, on stream. Some of it might be off stream. And other stuff that I'll be working on. It'll be exciting. I want to go back and keep working on the story too, because I was writing the short story and the episodes, but I didn't get anywhere past the first two because this kind of took over. But we'll see where we get with that. We'll see if that happens soon. You can also find me on all my links, and if you haven't already, give me a follow over there on YouTube. I am this close to having 100 subs over on YouTube. Woo, yay! And I'm planning, if I get a chance this weekend, to actually put something up there. Another little Marginalia video or something. So, all right, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to stop yapping. And I'm going to end this thing on my end screen. Since I'm not using my Stream Deck, I have to click on buttons manually. Like a caveman. Dang it. All right. Talk to you all later. Have a great night. And don't do anything too weird. Don't feed any Cajuns to tigers.